What's going on, guys? Have you ever wanted to get the most out of your account while AFKing? Well, in this video, I'm going to show my top 10 things to be getting for pretty much any account in order to get the most out of any AFK activity. So coming in at number 10 is going to be the XP Capacitor. The XP Capacitor is a really, I guess, forgotten item, I would say. It's kind of a weird item. It comes from the Howell's Workshop Armadillo archaeology site. And it basically just halves the amount of invention item XP that you get and then stores it in the capacitor. And then you can sell the capacitor once it's fully charged. So you can see on screen here, there's going to be a little image from the wiki showing that this thing costs about 1.3 mil to make, and it sells for I think like 6 mil or something. I don't know how accurate those prices actually are, but that's what the wiki says. So you get about a 4.3 mil profit per capacitor, and this usually takes anywhere from like 2 to 5 hours to charge depending on what you're doing. So you could calculate your amount of GP per hour you gain from this, but it's pretty good, especially if you're charging it in like 2 hours or something. It's just a quick little 2 mil added to your GP per hour. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Lantidime Incense Sticks. Since I pretty much overload for all of my combat, Lantidime Incense Sticks are amazing. They increase the duration of an overload potion by 25%, which is a pretty significant increase, and that's more time for me to be going out doing something with the overloads rather than sitting in World 84 making them. So I definitely think Lantidime Incense Sticks are worth using, even though it says on the wiki that it may not be cost effective. I think the time is worth more than the GP, obviously. So yeah, Lantidime Incense Sticks are really, really good to be using, and are a very simple item to use. So coming in at number 8 is going to be all of the different various drop cleaners. I think the most important ones obviously are the Charming Imp and the Bone Crusher, and I would definitely try to get those two on your tool belt just because they're so good. The other ones maybe not so much, like the Seedicide and Herbicide. You definitely don't need to get those on your tool belt or anything like that. But yeah, all of these different drop cleaners are really good. They allow you access to like a bunch of random different training methods like AFK farming training at Tiroth and stuff like that. So they really do give you access to a bunch of training methods, and they can give you passive GP per hour. They can reduce your inputs per hour. They all around are just really, really nice items to have. And if you can get them on your tool belt, it's even better. Coming in at number 7 is going to be the Scavenging 4 perk. Scavenging 4 is insanely good, and you should use it pretty much anywhere you can get away with it. It has made me, or saved me, however you want to look at it, billions of GP, tens of hours if I were an Iron Man. It's just an insanely good perk, especially when you get those rare procs. It's just so good. So yeah, Scavenging 4. I always put this on my legs, and the reason I do that is because then my top can always just be the same item, so I never have to make it like second Crackling, Relentless, or Biting. I just have to make it Impatient, which is a lot cheaper. So yeah, I always just use the same augmented top, and then the legs I basically switch out with random perks and an extra Impatient perk, like you can see on screen here. It's just a really good way that I use this 4th slot perk where you can kind of use it for whatever you want. This is a good way to never have to like make really expensive perks over and over again. So coming in at number 6 is going to be the only skilling item on here, and that is going to be the Grace of the Elves and Porters, and I'm also going to put the Luck of the Dwarves in this section. But the Grace of the Elves lets you AFK so many different skilling activities, make money skilling. The Grace of the Elves is just a really, really good item to have. You don't really need the enchantment, but the enchantment is nice to have. As for the Luck of the Dwarves, I always suggest using this item as somebody who's gotten a cheese and tomato thing and who's also gotten an HSR. You definitely don't want to be the guy getting a cheese and Tom Bada. You want to be the guy at least getting a Blurberry special. It's pretty unlikely that you get these things, but if you play enough, it eventually does happen. I got an HSR from Vindicta of all places, so yeah, definitely use the luck of the dwarves where you can. It's just, I don't know, it's just the wow factor of getting an HSR or even just a roll on the table is just so great that you might as well go for it because it's pretty fun, you know? For number 5, I have all of the different damage reduction effects. Now, I know a lot of people like to clown on Crypt Bloom, but Crypt Bloom is so good for these AFK activities and Slayer especially, just reducing damage as much as you can so you can just tank as many monsters. And Crypt Bloom, Animate Dead, Darkness, and the Warden set or whatever, Death Warden set are all really good for this. I would focus on probably getting Crypt Bloom and Animate Dead. I think these are probably the strongest ones, but Darkness is really easy to get and free, so you might as well get that too. I don't know about the tier 90 Necromancy set. It's not that good, to be honest. But yeah, all of those are just insanely good for AFKing all these different places for so many different Slayer monsters and like Vindicta and Hellweir and just all these different places. It's just so good to have the damage reduction. The only other thing that compares to this is the Scrimshaw of Vampirism for melee. That item is also like insane, but yeah, those items really, really strong, and definitely try to get these if you don't have them. For number 4, wow. For number 4, I would say the legendary pet, just keeping in theme with this video. This is about AFK activities, and the legendary pet really brings a lot of combat, like AFK activities full circle, where you can, you know, kill the monster, regen your adrenaline after every kill, and then automatically loot with the pet. I think if you're not looting, like what's the point? You can't just like leave the room. So yeah, I know there's definitely been a lot of cases where I'm at Vindicta and I literally just like leave and go for a walk or something and come back and there's just a lance in my inventory or something like that. So the legendary pet really does help bring like fully AFK methods like full circle and actually being like AFK for a reason. Because if you have to manually loot or something like that, it kind of defeats the purpose in a lot of these places. So yeah, I would say the legendary pet is definitely insanely good. You can get these for free if you get a premier membership token. I guess you pay for that, but you know. You can also get it in the oddment shop with the fire or water lichen. Those are legendary pets, and then you just use the auto collect loot. They're also really nice, I've found, for using the item repair feature. Like you can just use an item on it and repair it. I don't know how many times during a kill my gloves have broken and I just use it on the legendary pet and fix it right there. Super convenient. Other usages for it. And also, I guess, like scavenge for loot or something like that. But yeah, those are the two main features that I use. So coming in at number 3 is Persistent Rage. Persistent Rage is so good at rebuilding adrenaline after every kill. So you could see there, I just finished the kill, and now my account sits here and waits and then builds its adrenaline back up to 100%. And this is so good, especially for these God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses, because it allows you to build up to 100% to start the kill off with Sunshine. And that is, you know, further increased with Greater Sunshine and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just so good being able to start a kill with 100% here. You just go back and sun and attack, and it makes your kills significantly faster. I just got a minute kill there. And that was probably about the longest kill I would get normally. Like occasionally you get something longer than a minute, but most of my kills are like 50 seconds, and my other account is going crazy right now. What the heck? So for the second place slot, I am going to say the Potion Reservoir. This item is so incredibly good, and the amount of people I have seen who don't know this exists has really surprised me, I guess I should say. But yeah, the Potion Reservoir is so good. You make it on the Invention Workbench in the combat section. It is just so incredibly good. It turns an 8-minute overload sip into a 48-minute overload sip. It's just, it's incredible. It's just such a good item for AFKing. It reapplies whatever potion you put in it that has a timer. You could use this for like spirit attraction potions if you're skilling or something like that, which is really good for the div, hole place where there's just so many people around. But yeah, there are a ton of different uses for this. It's just super good for AFKing, and yeah, that's why it's number 2. One honorable mention that I want to put in here before I end this video is going to be the Zuck Cape. The Zuck Cape is honestly insane for all of the combat styles, and not only does it make you a lot more money per hour, but it really does allow you to do quite a few more different methods. I feel like it provides just enough DPS to make certain methods work where they otherwise wouldn't. So I would probably put the Zuck Cape somewhere in here as well, but I didn't really know where to put it. But yeah, Zuck Cape is incredibly strong as well. And now for the top number 1 best upgrade that I can suggest for anybody who wants to AFK stuff is going to be Soul Split, Turmoil, and the Penance Aura. These 3 things are just super insane. Obviously, for Soul Split, you have infinite life points. The Penance Aura, you have infinite prayer points, and Turmoil gives you such a massive DPS boost that, and it's so close to Soul Split that you might as well get it. That it's just insane. And the reason I say the Penance Aura over Penance Powder is because the Penance Aura gives you way more prayer points per damage that you take. And I've noticed with the Powder, you either have to use something like Elder Overload Salves or manually click on a Super Prayer Renewal or something like that. Or click on your Elf Shard all the time. And yeah, it just makes it way less AFK because it doesn't regen quite enough prayer points for quite a few different methods that I do. And the Penance Aura 100% works like all the time. At Vindicta, you just use the Penance Aura. It's super good. At Hellweir, I try to use the Penance Aura, although Vampirism is also really good there. But yeah, the Penance Aura is just super good with Soul Split. This gives you access to so many different money-making methods, AFK Slayer tasks, high-level bossing. I would say Soul Split and Turmoil and all of that is probably the number 1 thing to get on pretty much any account ever. I would say, as long as you're going to be doing like combat on it. So yeah, this is the number 1 slot. Now I will put an entire list of everything in order here. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I missed anything? Would you rearrange this list or anything like that? What do you guys think? If you guys like this video, drop a like on it. I don't know if people are going to really like this video, but kind of interesting, something to make, I guess. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.